Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Are you enjoying the sunshine we finally have?
Thinking about your big picture kind of financially.
And what did we identify as the opportunities? Our KDS Enhanced focus for the week, core deposits are growing. Open 5 checking accounts, all quality.
You can absolutely count on me to be your banker and give you the personal service and expertise that you deserve.
I grew up in West Virginia, Huntington, West Virginia. My mom had an aptitude for languages and she passed that on to me. So while I was in high school, I realized that I had an aptitude for languages as well and ended up taking French, Spanish, and Latin. And so when I was on the search for a college, I wanted a college that had a good concentration in languages, but had something that you could marry it with as well. So I ended up at Lenore-Rhine College in Hickory, North Carolina. It was a school that had a real emphasis on language, which included a study abroad program. I spent time in Spain, spent time in France, and so I had an acquaintance, a friend, that thought that I should meet a German. And so he set us up on a blind date.
That's right.
Is that the story?
That is the story. And so my very first blind date ever, and I swear she still is blind.
Shandra and Gerhard were married in Memphis, where she enjoyed a prosperous career managing a large department store. In 1999, she switched gears and moved into retail banking, where she worked her way from branch associate to her current position in Birmingham as manager of the consumer banking retail sales and support team.
It's hard to describe Shandra in just a couple of words. You almost just have to see her in action. She has deep love for our customers. She has a very deep love and concern for the well-being of associates, and that they're well-equipped and highly competent to interact with our coveted customers.
Shandra's passion, you see it not just in the summit. You know, this is a big production for her. She spends a lot of her time on the summit. But really, when you have Shandra out in the field, it's always showtime with Shandra. She's excited, she brings energy, she's fully engaged.
Shandra's team comes out and does joint visits with CBMs, and once a visit concludes, she gives feedback collectively based off of how everyone does. So I was able to attend those meetings that she led. And again, like when I was a branch manager and then as a CBM, when she delivered the feedback, she delivered it in a way that was so positive and so impactful that you immediately wanted to go put it into action.
What's probably the most thrilling about my job and why I love what I do, and love what I do doesn't seem like that's strong enough way to say it, is that we get to go to all of these different places in the company. We see how different markets, just what they're like, but ultimately every branch is executing it, we hope, in the same way.
Shandra, in her passionate work, has created across all 1,500 branches within our company a consistent, best-in-class customer experience, and transformed our bankers in how they execute their work, while at the same time, also how they perceive their value.
My team has this hashtag that when we feel like we've really done that, we call it hashtag changing lives. And that's what we want to do each and every time we interact with a banker, we interact with a partner, we're on a visit with a consumer banking manager or a consumer banking executive. We want to change lives.
But it was Shandra's life that was changed when she and Gerhard first laid eyes on the little girl they were adopting from a Russian orphanage. Unfortunately, the Russian government made the process quite difficult after abruptly suspending adoptions.
We were essentially out of place. There was nothing else that we could do. We had switched agencies, we'd redone paperwork, we'd done everything that we could do. We'd made calls, we'd called our senators, we'd called our representatives. None of this made any difference. And so I just remember one weekend standing in our house in Memphis and just broken because, our child is sitting thousands of miles away, and what do you do at that point? It was at that moment that we leaned into our faith, and we said, you know what, this is yours. You're gonna have to take it at this point. And we had made friends with, really good friends with our translator in Russia. 2 days later, he called and said, you have a court date in Russia. And so that was actually the week of Thanksgiving. And so for us, Thanksgiving always has a very special meaning because it was the week that we found out we were going to go get our daughter.
What does that feel like, Gerhard, when you get that phone call?
Oh, gosh. I'm still tearing up.
Now 15, Ellie loves spending her time learning to play music, training Zeus to be an emotional support dog, and serving others alongside her family at church.
Shandra and her husband Gerhard, with their sweet daughter who they adopted from Russia, they are a team. So much so that we all marvel that Ellie looks just like Shandra.
Through her passionate, caring nature, Shandra Tucker-Graf changes lives. From that very special life she changed 14 years ago, to the many lives of those in her church, to the associates she coaches, Shandra's true success can be measured by the happiness of those around her.